Find dy by dx for this parametric equations. That is, x is given as e power t and y equals t e power negative t. So for parametric equations, we write dy by dx equals dy by dt, and this is divided by dx by dt. So this is the formula that we use to find dy by dx for parametric equations involving x and y. So here we have to first to find this dy by dt and then divide that by dx by dt. So let's find dy by dt using y. So I'm going to find the derivative of y with respect to t, and this equals here we have to apply the product rule of differentiation. So let me first put the t and then multiply this with the derivative of e power negative t, which is e power negative t times the derivative of negative t, which is 1, uh, applying the chain rule. And then we put the second term now, that is e raised to the power of negative t. Multiply this with the derivative of t, which is 1. So let's simplify this. This equals, we have t and we have negative 1. So it is negative t e raised to the power of negative t. Then we have e power negative t times 1, which is e power negative t. We can write this in factor form by factoring out e power negative t from both terms. So we will get e power negative t. I first put this term, so I put 1 minus this term, we are left with the t. So it is e raised to the power of negative t times 1 minus t. This is dy by dt. Now let's find dx by dt using x. So we have x equals e raised to the power of t. Differentiating both sides with respect to t, we get dx by dt, and this equals differentiation of exponential function is e power t. And so we have obtained both the dx by dt and dy by dt, which we can plug it into the equation for dy by dx. So therefore we write dy by dx, that is the derivative of y with respect to x, and this equals, in the numerator we have to plug in the expression for dy by dt, which is e raised to the power of negative t times 1 minus t, and this is divided by the denominator expression we put dx by dt, which is e raised to the power of t. And so this is the expression for dy by dx. We can write this in two different forms by writing this e power negative t multiplied with this e power t in the denominator. So we will have 1 minus t, this divided by e power t times, if we put this e power negative t in the denominator, it will be e power t. And so this equals 1 minus t divided by e power 2t, or otherwise we can also write this in different form as 1 minus t times, we bring this e power 2t to the numerator, and when we do so it will become e power negative 2t. So these are some different forms of the same answer. So this is another form and this is another form. So we have three different forms which we could write, and basically all this represents the derivative of y with respect to x, that is dy by dx.